What's up, guys? It's me, Ryan from the Buttery Show, with my boys, envious cosplay Marvin and the Emperor Pinoy himself. No,
Hello there.
oh God, what's up?
Nothing much, man. I
You
got. Oh,
know,
wait a minute. How could you cover the Dark Lord's face and chest plate button thingy majig that controls his asthma?
Hey, you had to sacrifice one person, okay? So
his
deal
breathing
with.
apparatus has been
You couldn't
overtaken.
sacrifice Darth Maul? Oh, that's better.
Okay, there we go. Woo!
But
Everyone's
hey, guys,
happy.
welcome to our podcast, video podcast of the Buttery Show. Of course, with is streaming simultaneously with Growing with the '90s. We're gonna talk about the final episode of the original trilogy, Episode 6, Star Wars: Return of the Jedi, which is considered. Honestly, this kind of sucks. It's considered the weakest according to fans, but honestly, it's fine. But I won't say it's the weakest movie, but no. So yeah, I have my boy back again, Justin, aka Caboting, aka the voice, aka Red Pinoy, aka what has a lot of nicknames, and the Pinoy Darth Vane himself, or Darth Raven himself, Marvin. What's up, man?
Put some respect on Lord Revan's name.
Oh Jesus
Yeah,
Christ!
who may be played by Keanu Reeves in the future?
I want him to play
Oh!
Revan. I want him to, but
Maybe.
half of the Revan fan base doesn't want him to. So we're at an impasse
Really?
here.
I
Yeah.
thought a lot of the Revan fan base wanted Keanu
Yeah,
to
I did too
play.
until I saw a lot of comments saying, I don't know, man. He might be a bit too old by the time he does get cast.
Oh,
Yeah, cool,
But
cool.
I must say this. The new Matrix movie is the closest thing we'll get to a live action Revan played by Keanu Reeves because he was technically
yeah.
doing the Force, and his beard and goatee look,
Yes,
it's just how it looks in the Old Republic game. So
very similar, very dang similar, and we are getting a KOTOR remake too.
whoop
Oh,
whoop.
let's go.
After
Woo!
after like it's been 84 years.
Oh my God. But yeah, guys. So yeah, we're discussing Star Wars Episode 6, Return of Jedi. I don't know, I'm repeating myself, but heck, I just love Star Wars. So yes, this is the final episode of the original trilogy. This came out was 1980. When this movie came out again? 1981.
1982.
86. No wait.
80,
Oh, 82 was Empire.
So
so it is 80,
86.
86.
Or
Wow, 40.
83, 83, 83.
83.
So
Oh dang, so they fast tracked that movie.
so
Yeah.
that would explain why it took. Okay, I'll say this right now. So this when Return of Jedi, to me, it's okay. I do have to agree with some fans. It is considered the weakest. But there were some good moments, emotional moments,
Yeah.
and what I like about this film was it answered all the questions we had from episode 5. That's what I like about this film, and also, yeah, and basically this film is like, I know it's like it's not really a favorite among people, and also it introduced these kind of the the pillows, the Pinoy pillows.
The child friendly characters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
child friendly characters. We have
You
the
gotta sell the
Ewoks
toys.
to sell the
Yep.
toys.
Got to get that
Now,
merchandising. Sorry.
yes.
Go ahead.
Now let me ask you guys this: when you first watched Return of the Jedi, what was your thoughts, your reactions after watching this film? Starting with Red Pinoy
Oh,
Justin,
with
that's
me.
you.
Sorry. Yeah.
or
Sorry.
Imperial
Red
Pinoy?
no, I knew that. I knew that. So with Return of the Jedi, it actually for the longest time when up to when as a kid when the all we had were the original trilogy films, and then even as we were waiting for episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, Return of the Jedi actually was my absolute favorite film at the time.
Oh.
I loved
Oh,
Return of the Jedi. I'll admit the pacing was very slow at the beginning. I wasn't really particular about that. With the whole infiltrate Jabba's palace, rescue Han Solo, R2 and 3PO doing their thing, Luke coming in, using the Force to choke Gamorrean guards. Oh man. Uh Based on our previous discussions before, this one's definitely teetered along a lot darker tones in Star Wars, just because you have Vader and you have Vader's master. You have Palpatine into the mix. And
Oh yeah.
so that one was like, oh my gosh, this is the big baddie. This is who we saw in Empire. And
Hmm.
now we're seeing him in the flesh. And he's this old man. But again, what Yoda taught us was that looks can be deceiving. And we see how powerful he truly is, how much of a master manipulator he was.
Hmm.
And yeah, he was in control the whole time until Vader just changed the equation. And
Mhm.
lastly, space battles. The
Space
Battle
Oh
of
battles.
yeah.
Endor. Battle of Endor is hands down one of my favorite space sequences in all of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
I mean, for me, it's a Rogue One, but I do, but that's another time. It's
We
another talk.
we will get to that because again, Rogue One is my personal favorite Star Wars film.
Hmm.
But at the time, I had figurines of the A wing, the B wing, the NCOM T-65 X wing. I had Tie fighters, Tie interceptors, Tie bombers. Oh, I had it all, and I would reenact each time it showed the models coming in the frame. I was like, oh, here comes the X wing. Okay, all right, gotta switch out A wing.
So
And then
basically, you're an Andy back then.
oh yeah, I
Weren't we
was
all, dude?
total.
Weren't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, if you had the toys and you could mimic the movements and follow along, you can't help yourself. But yeah, that sums up why Return of the Jedi is one of my favorite films to remember from Star Wars.
Cool. Okay, Dart Bane.
He's not on this picture, but
I know
okay.
Dart
Yeah,
Raven. I keep saying
yeah, I
Raven.
was like, yeah, Darth Revan,
Dart Raven. My
Darth
bad.
Revan.
But yeah, Return of
Yeah.
the Jedi, um, like I said in last week's episode, I had the original cut of Return of the Jedi. Um, I liked it, but not as much as Empire.
Mhm.
Um, Legit, I was super scared of the Rancor back then when I first saw it as a kid, especially when he ate that poor Twi'lek slave.
Ugh.
I
Messy.
mean, we'll get to that scene when we get to it, and my gripes with how it was changed the mood entirely in the special editions and all that.
Right.
Um, so I do believe that, unlike New Hope, I think Return of the Jedi had the worst added things with the
Mhm.
special editions. But in terms of where I place this movie in my Star Wars rankings, it's in my top 5,
Okay.
but not in my top 3.
Good save.
So my bad.
All
So,
right.
like again, this is actually one of my least favorite Star Wars movies,
Mhm.
and mainly it's because of the pacing. The pacing is what kind of kills it for me. The only reason why this film is rewatchable for me because again, it is the final battle. Like I'll say this: as much as we have Revenge of the Sith, right, the battle between Anakin and Obi Wan, and also with Qui Gon and Obi-Wan Darth Maul in Episode 1, this is actually my favorite lightsaber battle because it's
Really?
emotional. It's actually emotional.
Oh, the weight.
The weight of
Hmm.
it's emotional. Like it's this is the one that actually had stakes. Like because like if Luke loses, he turns to the dark side. Like either two
Mhm.
scenarios, he turns to the dark side, and the whole universe is actually effed up.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Or if he dies, then the hope is gone because he is the new hope. That's what
He's
Right.
the
he's new
last
hope.
of the Jedi.
Yeah, and then
Mhm.
like if Luke kills Dart, basically, yeah, the like there if he kills Darth Vader, like the rebels have a higher chance of defeating the Empire, but he also loses his dad.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's why it's very like this battle has more weight. It's the most emotional one. Like I look at
Mhm.
memes and look at like top tens, and they do agree this battle is the most emotional one of all the lightsaber battles.
Right.
Um, let's see. Now, and also because as much as like they're cute and fluffy, I did not like the Ewoks. I know I have to
But
put them
they're
in the background.
adorable.
They're adorable,
No?
but come on. But the reason why I put them on because they could speak Filipino.
Oh, okay. This is
That
this
they're
is this is some bias.
I know. So that's why I have to put it on to put my. But again,
Well, hey, we got to remember that some of Star Wars and Hollywood's notable stars started out as Ewoks, or they played Ewoks and subsequently have literally pioneered and led efforts that uh, amounted to so much more of diversity and representation in the industry.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, like Warwick Davis. Forgot he was an Ewok.
Warwick Davis, yeah,
And
and
now, and now he's Willow.
and yeah, he was Willow, and also a friend of mine that I made on a set on a production, Kevin Thompson. He actually not only did he play several Ewoks in Return of the Jedi, he actually reprised the role of a lot of the Ewoks that were in Return of the Jedi in the Ewok series, which you
Hmm.
can now watch on Disney Plus, which I heavily recommend anyone who is a Star Wars fan to check those out. It's actually pretty good.
I'll
Yeah,
try. I'll try. But like
it's
again,
not the holiday special. I'll give you that.
I know I'll try. It's just like there's a reason why you go to my house. So I don't have any Ewoks in my house. I have more. I actually have more
You can get
Jawas.
through it. You can. Oh, you have Jawas.
I have
Oh,
Jawas.
okay.
I have Jawas.
Porgs.
Oh my god. What do
I
you
got
mean?
porgs.
Porgs. You got porgs. All same here.
Porgs. They're fluffy and they
I
got
mean, I
wings.
also got a. I
Yep.
even. I also got this guy.
What do you have? Uh-oh, he's reaching.
I had to get like my
I mean, you
mascot
did get
for his
Chewy.
finish.
Oh, you got Grogu.
Green
You got
screen,
Grogu.
damn it!
What have you done?
There we go. Up close.
He's beheaded.
Up
Oh
close.
no,
Damn.
Ben Solo got to him.
Ah,
God.
cut that
Ah.
Grogu up.
No,
Chop
it's
him into
Anakin.
little
Anakin.
slices.
Anakin killed him. He's because he's a youngling. It's like ah.
No, he said Grogu was cool. That's why Grogu ended up being in Mando.
Yeah, definitely. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's go
Okay.
now. Okay, so Return of the Jedi. Again, this film was made in 1983. It's considered the weakest by a lot of Star Wars fans. I disagree. It's not the worst film. There's actually another film that's
That's
bad.
Solo.
Oh, shots
Shots
fired.
fired.
Ow.
Wow.
I'm just saying what I
Wow.
think. It's not fact. It's just my
Wow.
opinion.
Oh yeah, no, it's all subjective, but I'm quite surprised
Yeah, I'm
that Solo
surprised.
is your least favorite.
Yeah, because people actually do like Solo.
I didn't.
But he didn't.
Oh.
I bet you felt it didn't need to be made, did you?
I
Also.
felt like it suffered from quite a few production issues. I think, and that affected the film.
That is
Okay.
true.
I don't think that it was the acting, because they're doing their best with what they're given.
Okay.
So
Didn't
It's more
Return
the
of the
behind the
Jedi
scenes
have
stuff.
that? Oh,
I
right.
think so. I
Hmm.
think
Because Lawrence
I-
Kasdan helped co-write Return of the
Mhm.
Jedi. I know
Yeah.
that for sure. And he was
Um,
brought on for the sequels also.
Yes. So again, this film was directed by Richard Marquand, and yeah, it starred Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Billy D. Williams, Lando,
Yeah.
and Anthony Daniels, David Prowse, Kane Baker, Peter Mayhew, and Frank Oz. Now, the reason why I name all those characters because it is the final film in the original trilogy, so I might as well give them credit and love. With a
Mhm.
cameo from Alec Guinness and the OG ghost of Anakin Skywalker himself,
Yes.
David Prowse.
David Prowse.
Sebastian
Sebastian was his name?
Shaw. Sebastian Shaw.
Oh yeah, that's
is-
right.
Yeah, David Prowse
Sorry, got
was
that.
the body of Vader, but
Mm.
and James Earl Jones was the voice of Vader, but Sebastian Shaw was the one that portrayed Anakin Skywalker after the unmasking.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So I remember, in the Laserdisc and some copies of the VHS that, hopefully that some of them are still out there. Or if you have the unofficial despecialized ones, or somehow, some way, you'll be able to get Sebastian Shaw there with Alec Guinness and Yoda, not Hayden.
Oh my
Mhm.
gosh.
Yeah, the VHS special editions, the ones I have, they definitely have them. But when they made the DVDs, that's when Attack of the
Yeah.
Clones had come out, and Hayden Christensen had switched out.
Yeah,
he had
but
switched in.
it's from it's Revenge of the Sith Anakin's head on the special editions of
Right.
Return of the Jedi.
Hmm.
And I don't think they put in Hayden just yet until that. I think maybe the first run of the collected Saga DVDs were out.
Hmm.
Oh, okay
Oh,
then.
okay.
So yeah, I think the special edition DVDs leading up to that point when the
Hmm.
saga was collected, because I don't think I think once episode 3 came out, they were able to put them all in a DVD set.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. Now going back to the premise, small premise, like so, film takes you 1 year after Empire Strikes Back. Han Solo's frozen in the carbonite and taken to Jabba's palace, and this is where a lot of fans complain about the slow pacing. Um,
Yes.
Honestly, Jabba's palace scene, take that out, this film would have been fine.
What we needed was to see Luke constructing his lightsaber. Yes, I know there's deleted
It
scenes
was a
and
deleted
footage
Yes,
of
scene.
the
that.
lead scene. I would have seen that better. And like, well, maybe you could put in some Jabba's the Hutt. Thing is, the Jabba sequence in the whole first half was Jabba, and then like it was kind of weird. It's like this is what felt. It was like two movies into one. That's what I felt. Like you
Mhm.
had the whole Jabba plot, and then you had another plot of course, the main plot with Emperor, right? Like now, like in Endor, basically the final battle between the rebels and then Empire and then
Right.
Death Star 2. And this is where there's also another complaints with fans was basically this just rehash of not rehash of New Hope, but like they had to use another Death Star 2.
Hmm.
Like that, like I mean, looking at now, looking before, it's like, oh cool, that's kind of cool. But now it's like, yeah, it's kind of lazy. Like you didn't have
It
like a super weapon that's worth that doesn't need to be like a moon.
The
So
fact that they had to probably fast track that thing after the destruction of the first one.
yeah, unless maybe they said they were making two. Because thing is, like,
yeah,
you remember in
but
Star
this
Wars,
one's
like
bigger.
in Return
This
of
one's
Jedi,
Yeah,
like
the second one was a lot bigger than the first.
yeah, like you gotta, that's why it doesn't make sense because like wait, it only took a year to create that. Like in Return of the Jedi, like after Revenge of the Sith, the Death Star took years.
Hmm.
yeah.
It took years to build. So maybe they made another one during this contraction. Who knows? But yeah, that's what I felt. But let me ask you this: like, do you believe the first half was kind of slow, or like was it, or better yet, was the Jabba sequence necessary, or you believe it could just been
Yes,
taken
Yes.
out?
it
So
was necessary because of if you watched A New Hope, uh even the special editions, they did include the deleted scene of Jabba and Han meeting up right in front of the Falcon before they left.
Hmm.
And
mhm.
it's like, pay up, Solo. It's like, oh yeah, I'll get you your credits. And then up, yeah. So and then Boba Fett was most likely to get hired and then get Han, and oh, there he goes. He got Han, so he brought him to Boba Fett. I mean, brought him to Jabba, and then he got paid. And for
Mhm.
some reason, he just stuck around after getting paid.
Well, I mean, as it was developed further in the lore and such, I think even in Legends also, a lot of bounty hunters there was some sort of like a union or a
Hmm.
guild,
Mhm.
and if the Hut cartel was paying bounty hunters pretty well, especially Jabba being one of the leading uh uh figures in the Hut cartel. Oh yeah, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to stay here and gonna make some lot of credits." And yeah, I could think that would have been a good motivation for Boba to stay. Um, but yeah, no, I even though the pacing of the whole Jabba the Hutt breakout solo arc was slow paced, I do think it was necessary. Probably trim it up in some parts, but they did it in phases in a way that seemed to that seemed to drag along too long. Very quickly, it was R2 and 3PO, then Chewie and Leia disguised as Bosch, and then after that, it's Luke. It's like, wow, you had to do three waves. Don't you think Jabba would have been so conscious of that? But I guess, he's a fat slug. who doesn't get out much. I
or at
guess
all.
I guess that really pays to the whole theme of hubris being your own downfall,
Mhm.
aka Julius Caesar. But
Yes.
he wasn't killed by his own subject, but he was killed by whom he made his slave.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And
Yeah.
nice
Yes.
job, Carrie Fisher. Um,
Um. Oh my god. Nope. 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 I'm not
oh,
drunk. Nope. It's I drink maybe because I drank a lot of blue milk. Just kidding.
Oh man, I need to
um.
get more blue
it can
milk
be
next time at Disney.
fermented bantha milk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
Or-
nasty.
That's nasty. But I'll say this:
Yeah.
my only wish, if I had to like rewrite it, I wish Boba had more scenes for action. Keep in mind, we barely
Yeah.
seen him do a lot of stuff, right?
He got beat by a blind guy.
Yeah, give up beat by a blind guy.
Oh,
Now
but
let's
that
now let's discuss.
where?
I know, yeah. Let's discuss this with characters. Now, I'll say this: Jabba the Hutt. Honestly, if they made him the main villain of this movie. I mean, yeah, this film. I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind.
Not
Oh, he's not the
Jabba was
main
it?
film.
Not main villain, but my main like secondary antagonist of the film. Right.
Okay,
I
fair
would have
enough.
not mind because
Okay, fair enough.
he-
That was
he was
like
interesting,
because that was
like-
like what about half hour, 45 minutes in.
yeah,
Ooh, yeah,
Hold
that's
up.
a little long.
yeah, my pound.
So,
Okay,
since
guys.
we're talking about Jabba's palace, I have some things to say regarding the special editions.
Ooh,
'Cause-
okay.
This was never in the original edits. I know. There's the internet. I have my Laserdisc copies at work. So, when we first
Right.
get introduced to Jabba in this movie, he
Mhm.
drops a poor unfortunate Twi'lek slave dancer into the Rancor pit.
Yeah.
In the original, there was no stupid CGI abomination band. You shut your
I like
mouth.
that song. There's a lot of good memories I have with that song.
Yeah,
playing
same here. Come on,
Battlefront
man.
2.
That's actually a good song.
Heroes
That-
versus villains.
That was atrocious when I
Hero
first saw
Assault.
that in the special editions. I was like,
Yeah.
this doesn't make the scene any better. It makes it like worse.
Why?
it is so bad because it's like the original scene, it was very dark when that was happening, the horror of getting eaten by this giant monster that this spice runner owns,
Mhm.
and then they add that where they're all partying about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that was just terrible, and that's one of the reasons why I refuse to. Well, like if it's on when some family members or I'm at someone's house and it's playing, sure I'll watch it, but I won't watch Return of the Jedi unless I bust out the Laserdisc player because of it.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's go for it because we've been talking 20 minutes about Jabba. So
Yeah.
not only controversy that of course Lost Star Wars it's mixed was Princess Leia's outfit. As much as the older person agreed that is eye candy, but honestly, was it even necessary putting Leia in a slave outfit?
I think so. Just because to further push forward that Java is a slug, you don't have to necessarily point out something with dialogue in film.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
I mean, yes, it was very skimpy,
yeah,
though necessary.
And from what I
think so.
recall hearing, what in past interviews that Carrie Fisher had, she was like, "Yeah, I was happy with the outfit because the whole time I was like covered up head to toe, and then it's like, yep."
I love Carrie Fisher.
And also the
Um,
fact that they were filming still in the desert, I bet she was like, "Yes, this is great. I don't
Yeah, 'cause
have to
hot.
suffer."
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. But let's go forward now. So now the Sarlacc pit scene. That was actually I'll say this actually was one of the best fights I saw for a Star Wars action sequence.
Oh yeah, It
That's
was
where we
very
saw Luke-
action-packed.
That's where we saw Luke finally become. Now this is what I kind of am sad about. Like I wish we saw Luke become like his progression as a Jedi. That's why I wish he kept the lightsaber area because that was
Yeah,
for a
the
Jedi.
lightsaber
That's
forming.
Yeah, that's important for being a Jedi. Make your own lightsaber,
Yeah, you're
right?
not a full Jedi until you make your own.
Make your lightsaber.
Yeah, that's why I wish it
Make your
kept it.
lightsaber, son.
Oh
Wait,
my god, I wish it kept it. And plus, it's actually based on Obi-Wan's hilt. That's kind of
yeah.
cool.
Yes.
Spare
But it's not
parts.
like yeah, but it's not like pit scene. Now, that was really great. Like the action sequence was amazing. The only part was Boba Fett and that Boba Fett died like a wimp.
Yeah, he went
Yeah,
out pretty
he went really
unfortunately.
horribly, and this is why to this day I still defend Captain Phasma because her fight was better than Boba Fett's in this
Oh yeah,
movie, and she's the Boba Fett of the sequel trilogy, and she had a much better fight.
Yes.
come on, Chrome Dome.
Let's go, Chrome Dome. But
Dome.
yeah, we were introduced to a lot of things. I mean,
Mhm.
with Jabba's sail barge, we have to
That
remember
thing is
that.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really cool, and also like the cantina scene in A New Hope, we got introduced to a lot of the cool aliens in the
Hmm.
Star Wars universe. I
Yeah.
mean, we have our favorite band from Return of the Jedi. You guys have to know who I'm talking about.
Boop, ba-dip, boop,
Max
ba-dip,
Rebo, the
dip,
blue guy
Yep.
who plays on the keys in Jabba's palace, which was on the special edition.
Yeah,
Well, yeah,
that what
Max.
he was in there,
Yeah, Max
Yes.
Rebo.
and
He's a
that was an
thing.
actual puppet, not a CG walking
Yeah.
pile of trash.
Yeah,
Yes.
Max Rebo's a legend. Heck, a lot of people even like to ref him a lot of the times. And so, yeah, Jabba Sail Barge, I agree with Ryan. The action is hands down knocks your socks off. And of course, unfortunately, Boba Fett went out just being hit by Han
Pole.
backwards. Jetpack, his Z6 jetpack goes off, hits the sail barge, falls into the Sarlacc pit.
Hmm.
Sarlacc pit belches just for comedic humor. But yeah.
Yeah, that was like, really, that's it? You look so cool, and that's it?
Yeah, it was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, now finally we can act. Well, let's talk about Han Solo. Now, I did mention that last week that honestly this is Harrison Ford's not best weakest performance as Han Solo. I can see
Yeah.
why, because he wanted to be killed off in Empire Strikes Back. That actually was facts. So
Got
I can
called
tell
back.
he didn't really. I'll say this: like he didn't do a bad job. He did like his. It wasn't like high standard Han Solo. It's like you have to
Like,
compare this to like it's like
I
Johnny
like
Depp.
Han Solo in this movie after
Mhm.
the Jabba stuff.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's like I'll say it's like the first half. It's like I'll say it's like Johnny Depp's performance in like that what's that recent film, Dead Man Tells No Tales. It wasn't bad, but it was also not great. It was not quality as his original four Pirates of the Caribbean movies. You know what I'm understanding?
I
What I'm saying?
feel I
Mhm.
feel the writing had to do with the absence of Gore Verbinski. I remember talking with another friend about this, but Gore Verbinski was on board for the first three, and then he wasn't on Stranger Tides or Dead Men Tell No Tales.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so I think it had to do with the story because they brought on different writers and they didn't have Gore to consult. It's kind of like
Ah.
if you have a Christopher Nolan film, like
Mhm.
one of the greatest, like Inception. Christopher Nolan had his brother to help co-write that,
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and it was well received. The Dark Knight, Batman Begins, great films. Practically
Hmm.
one of the most flawless projects Nolan's ever had. However, when you start going into Interstellar, Tenet,
Dark Knight Rises.
it yes, exactly, especially Dark Knight Rises, it's kind of mixed. It's not as for sure concretely well received across the board.
Hmm.
It's because it's missing something.
Hmm.
And if the writers don't carry on what the others advised before them, it's not going to be as
Good.
entertaining. But back to Return of the Jedi. Um, I mean, you do have different writers for this one particularly, especially with the whole Jabba thing. But after that, when you write a character like Han Solo and you have a good motivation for him to act the way he does, it really does make his character arc better. Like you said, post Jabba, he gets elevated to the rank of General Han Solo. It's like, whoa,
Looking back on it, it's like, but for what though?
Well, the thing is,
yeah,
well, he
right?
did this.
Isn't that funny?
He did destroy well, he didn't destroy. Yeah, you're right. He didn't even do
Yeah,
like,
he became
oh,
Like-
captain for destroying the Death Star.
Yeah, and then like he got caught. Wouldn't
Yeah.
that be a
Yes, it is-
demotion?
yes, this is the thing. So I don't
You're
know. Like
demoted.
now you see
You're
why. Now you see why a lot of people. And it's not. A lot of people have some problems with this film because it's not.
Yeah.
It's pacing and also you even see some of the characters like motivation. Well, not motivation because like thing with Luke is Luke's motivation is clear. He wants to redeem his daddy, and
Yeah.
while becoming a strong Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wants to redeem his dad. He wants him to turn back the light side,
Mhm,
which
correct.
which it does happen. But tragic death, everything happens. So now let's go forward. So again, we talked 20 minutes about Jabba the first half. Now let's talk about the best part, considered now the best part of the film.
Everything else.
Everything else. There we go. We're done. We're done with the boring part. There you go. Now we have the nitty gritty. So yeah, now the Jedi, the main heroes are now in Endor, trying to
The
basically
forest moon of Endor.
Forest Moon of
Forest
Endor.
Moon of Endor.
Yeah, Forest Moon of Endor.
Good catch.
Because they find out that that second Death Star is, well, that the Empire made a second Death Star. I don't know how they did it fast. I don't know what happened, but it's Star Wars. But so yeah, the plan is destroyed, and also we find out that the Emperor himself, Emperor Palpatine,
Is on board.
Is on board. Now this is what I like about this. Now this is what I give to the credit to the film. This film properly introduced us Emperor Palpatine, and I'll say this: he steals the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Right
this
when
is
his shuttle lands, gets down that boarding ramp and says,
Rise, my
"Rise,
friend.
my friend."
This
Like-
is legit. This is his film. Like the thing is when cause like with Empire and New Hope, we thought okay, Darth Vader is like legit. Darth Vader is like the big bad, but no, there's actually someone more powerful than him. And
There's
like what
someone
Yoda said,
worse.
Luke's someone worse. And what Yoda said, Luke can be deceiving. I mean,
Mhm.
Yoda said Luke can be deceiving. And oh my god, like we thought he was this frail old man, but once we see Luke, like in after fight Darth Vader, he legit uses some force ass lightning on them. See, oh shit, this
Yep.
guy is that powerful and scary as hell.
Yep.
So let me ask
And
you guys
Ryan,
this:
since
Huh?
you said this is his movie, this is the end of the original trilogy. Years later, he steals every scene in Revenge of the Sith.
I know,
Years
and then
later, he steals every scene that he's in Rise of Skywalker. So it's
Skywalker.
like,
it's poetic. I mean, what Luke,
yeah, I mean,
Damn
it's
it.
like,
look what again, like what Joe Lucas said. Each film's poetic. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, but
it's like poetry. It's
it-
meant to rhyme.
it's not just
so-
that; it's Ian's
No.
acting as well.
Oh,
It
he's
outshines everyone in the room.
that man. If you were to look up acting in the dictionary, his picture shows up right next to
Yeah.
Christopher Lee. Like, oh my gosh, of a lot of actors that I idolize, Ian McDiarmid is definitely up there. He
Mhm.
did shape. He performed a lot in a lot of Shakespearean plays. If anyone has seen his footage, if you're able to find any, take a look. He's so good. The like very similar to how Christopher Lee
Mhm.
he was well known doing theater, and then when he went into film, everyone knew who he was. Everyone knew to like literally bow at his feet.
Yeah.
And that's what Ian McDiarmid had with being Palpatine. He had this it's like when he put on the mask, the prosthetics for being Palpatine, he brought out his most sinister persona from him. His frail fingers, really relaxing really flexing his facial muscles just to really, really get down there. Yeah, it's just, it sent you chills. A lot of people were pretty scarred from Ian's performance, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. The makeup department did their job.
They
Oh
did.
my god.
They did. They
Oh
did. Now besides Emperor Palpatine, let's talk about other characters. Again, so Princess Leia, she actually was really good in this film. Like well,
yes.
besides again, take out the first half of the film, no, but this second half to the final act, yeah, like that is the Leia that we all fell in love with, and the fact that
Mhm.
she's the one that brought to brought peace and friendship between the
The
some
Ewoks.
little pillows.
Oh, well, you have to remember 3PO actually did that.
Yeah,
I know,
exactly.
but thing is, she made
First it was
contact with
Leia,
him.
and then 3PO.
These are my
Yeah, 3PO.
friends. But even though the first human contact, uh, but let's talk about the Ewoks. Well, we'll present it first. This is the film that it's funny is like the second. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. Like, so we find out that Luke and Leia are brother and sister in this film. They're
Oh yeah,
twins.
Ah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So this is the thing. I don't know if George Lucas really knew, like, we just put this last minute to make him brother and sister, or was it just they want because the thing is second. You remember the second movie? They kissed.
Yeah, they did.
I'm
Ju-
like,
and it was just a spite Han.
it's a spite Han. I'm like,
Yeah,
now I was like, ah, this is incest.
no
I
one
haven't
knew.
watched Return of the Jedi in a long while, so if anyone could enlighten me as to how the heck
Mhm.
Luke realized.
Oh well, cause like, so it's so the thing is, Luke went back to Dagobah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that before we continue because that's
Yes.
before.
That's a
Yeah.
really crucial part.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Luke went. So Luke went back to Dagobah because he promised Yoda he'll finish his training.
Mhm.
But again, this is where it doesn't make sense too because Yoda said like, "Oh, now he has to teach you." He's like, "What?" So you became granted it's been a year, but thing is, so you telling me Luke taught himself? So see, I don't get it. See, right? Like, because being a Jedi, like you have to like become a youngling. They have to do
Yeah,
teachings.
that's the thing though.
That's the traditional way.
Yeah, that's a traditional way, and but since they're rolling the dice on Luke, and Yoda was at the end of his rope in this movie. He was dying of natural
Yeah.
cause.
Yeah, because
So
the thing is, I kind of hopefully maybe in the second season, book, whenever they bring back Luke for another Star Wars series, they can explain how he got that strong. Because thing is, you gotta remember he did not have a long formal training.
that's true.
Yeah, like I
That's
want to
true.
maybe
That's
explain like
true.
maybe how did he do it? Did he did he like read some books? Maybe again we don't know. It's
Oh,
like
There may have been something in Obi-Wan's hut, possibly.
possibly
So he
because thing is
probably took those, and plus his experience fighting two Sith Lords was experience enough. Since at the time he and his sister, after Return of the Jedi, are the only major Force sensitive people.
well, it
at the
wasn't the
time.
majors like other people.
Oh yeah,
but, like
Ahsoka.
yeah, Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, I
Well,
forgot about Ahsoka.
yeah. Well, at least to the knowledge that of who was alive, because at
Yeah.
the time the only people, canonically speaking, that knew Ahsoka was alive is technically Ezra Bridger at this
Yeah, and
point.
he's
Captain
still
And
MIA,
And Captain
and then
Rex.
he was on the Battle of
no,
Endor.
well, yeah,
Captain
he
Rex. Yeah, Captain
knew,
Rex.
but no, I understand that, but Ezra couldn't between that time. Okay, I know we're going to talk about Rebels, but I'm so passionate about Rebels. I have to make this known.
Mhm.
Ezra did not really talk about his experience of the world between worlds with a lot of people. I mean, yes,
Yeah.
he could have told Rex about it, but really, the only people that really knew that secret that Ezra might be out there
Yeah.
or that he had that encounter with Ahsoka is technically Sabine, Hera, Zeb, and maybe Captain Rex. I will give that. However, they're trying to work to protect the Lothal at this point, so it's like it's hard to tell because they didn't cover that in that last arc in Rebels.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. No, let's go back to this. So, thing is, we find
Yes.
out that this is where the big happen. This is where the big reveal happens. That like Luke came back to see. I was like, complete my training. He's like, nah, you're technically now your training complete. So all you need to do is just kill your daddy. And like, well, I don't want to kill my daddy.
Bring balance to the force.
Bring balance
Exactly.
to force, but like, and then this is where what I like about the scene was it shows that Jedi is also corrupted. Like what people don't realize, this actually rewatching
Yeah.
this, they are also corrupted because like why? Like I get it, you want to kill him, but isn't there a way to do it without right? I mean, granted,
Exactly. If you get rid of the dark side or the light side, you don't have balance, and that's why Revan is right.
yeah, yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
why like it's when Luke said I don't want to kill my dad, but and then this so Yoda dies of old age, but before he dies, he tells Luke that there is another Skywalker.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but and then he's like, what? Who? And then yeah. And
And
then
then
so he
him.
sees
Mhm.
Obi-Wan's Force Ghost, and then that's where Luke's like, you lie. Well, he didn't say that, but he said like, well, you told me Vader killed my dad. It's like, well, for a certain point of view.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
makes
I
sense
think that was
because
the trigger.
Hmm.
it makes sense too because Darth Vader has DID. It's all obvious. If
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
look at the last few episodes or 2 seasons of Clone Wars, you can see Anakin kind of has some DID inside of him, a little
Hmm.
bit, like little teases of it. Because keep in mind, like when Anakin turns to Vader, he calls himself Darth Vader. I'm no longer Anakin
Yeah.
Skywalker,
Mm-hmm.
right? So yeah,
Later
that's
on.
that's basically our first introduction to DID for earlier, right?
Here, actually, for our listeners and viewers, what is DID?
It's a dissociative identity
Dissociative
disorder.
identity disorder.
Dissociative
I am no
identity disorder.
psychiatrist or psychiatric professional, so I don't want to say anything regards to that because I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel qualified to speak on that.
Yeah, same here. I just
Likewise.
know that like it's someone that has two distinct different personalities. Like you watch Moon Knight, same thing. Steve, Mark, Steve,
And
Yeah.
Jake,
or
don't forget
and
Jake.
Jake
And
Lockley.
Jake. But that's a
Yeah,
spoiler for anyone who hasn't seen the series all the way. But
Whoops.
staying on Return of the Jedi.
stay on target.
um,
Stay on target.
yeah, stay on target. I'm the one in the X-wing. I gotta stay on target.
Okay, so that's when we find out that like so everyone tells them like Luke like yeah he turned to the dark side because your dad like the Emperor corrupted him. So the thing is he tells them he was their new hope to bring balance, but then so what everyone tells Luke like you have to kill him. He didn't tell him that, but tells him like implying you have to kill him. And but Luke's like I don't want to kill him. Is there a way to turn back the light side? And then we all lost. So this is where again like the Jedi is very as long I get it they're peacekeepers, but they're also manipulative.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
where we see a tease of their like Obi-Wan's like you got to
There's
kill him.
flaw in their doctrine.
Yeah,
Exactly.
so if people's like oh why are the Jedi's like well with the prequel haters they're like well keep in mind look in the original trilogy like that like George Lucas put seeds on it right and that scene alone where Obi-Wan tells Luke kill your dad that just shows like yeah are you really peacekeepers. Are you really?
Yeah, and
Or you're your
especially
own
when
motives?
Obi-Wan says literally he's more machine than man. You can see it in Obi-Wan's response. He's like, I've
Like
tried
tried.
this.
He
Yeah.
tried to bring him back, but there's nothing
Mhm.
left anymore.
Exactly.
So well, I'm curious. Maybe for Obi-Wan, this series, it
I
possibly.
mean, not necessarily, because Obi-Wan doesn't even know that Vader
Yeah,
is
as far
alive.
as Obi-Wan knows, Anakin burned up to death.
I hate you.
Exactly.
That's the last
Yeah.
thing he heard him say, and then he walked away.
Not really. Okay. Anyway, but so
Well,
yeah, then
yeah.
that's when Luke finally finds out. Okay, guess I'll have to kill him. But then this is what I like about him. So now I go back to the Ewok scene, right? So same thing. Going funny side, like the Ewoks basically are the little natives of Endor, and basically they when you see 3PO, he's basically a god to them.
That
Because
is
it's a
true.
shiny thing.
He's a shiny thing,
It's a
and actually knows
shiny
how to
gold
speak
thing.
Ewokian. But that's basically
Ewokese. It's
Ewokies.
Ewokese.
What I like about that part two is because like you see 3PO summarize the whole movie
Oh,
in
yeah.
Yeah,
the whole
exposition.
series so far to the
The
Ewoks
exposition.
exposition. I like that scene. It was a good call. It was a good scene.
And once
But
he
then
sat up, the Ewoks were like, Ayon, Yan ang maganda.
Ayun.
Ayun!
Oh yeah, so they speak
Ayun!
Tagalog.
They speak our language.
Speak our language. This is a scene. Ayun.
Ayun!
Yan, yan, yan.
Ayun, yan,
Maganda.
yan.
Okay, maganda. I was like, damn, you Ewoks, you pervs. Kidding now. But
Space Filipinos.
I know. Like, damn,
They're-
you're looking at Leia. It's like, what's wrong with you? Well, yeah, it was a 3PO. But anyway, so now we go to another important scene where Luke reveals to Leia that they're siblings.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really like this scene. I really liked it. This is why again, this is the most emotional film.
Mm.
Even though it's considered I consider the weakest. The only one that keeps it going is the emotional tones, which they perfected.
Yeah.
And legit, when legit like Luke tells Leia, like, "Hey, I'm your sibling, and Darth Vader's our dad." This is my only complaint, though. Wish like, I wish Darth Vader saw Leia one last time.
Well,
That was
Well, Vader didn't really know that there was a second kid until that
the fight.
duel.
and that now that's another problem I have too. So going back, so yeah, like Luke tells Leia, like, "Hey, our Darth Vader's our dad and our sibling." Honestly, Leia's response to it, I mean, I don't know if it was me writing. I was expecting something more like, "Oh my god!" But she seemed cool with it.
She's
You notice?
because of the fact that
Mm.
she may have always had that sort of force connection to Luke that kind of gave her a hint. Like she was just realizing, and because in the end of
Empire.
Empire Strikes Back, when Luke is hanging for dear life onto that antenna at the base of Cloud City, she senses him,
Right.
and that's how they were able to rescue him from falling.
Right.
So at that moment, like, I'm not sure if any of the expanded media had her be force sensitive prior to this moment in Empire Strikes Back, but at that point of the story in Return of the Jedi, it's like, oh, so that explains why I am able to do what I did in the previous movie.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, then Luke goes to share himself with Vader, and this is where we have again. Honestly, I like the scenes when it's interaction between father and son. Like you could tell, like Vader, like Anakin is slowly coming back because keep in mind, he will just kill Luke right there, straight up.
Yeah, when he ignited the saber, like
I was like,
Luke
crap!
is
It's like he's
oh,
gonna strike him
shoot.
down. And then like your training is complete. I'm like, okay. So, and plus, you look at this is where David Prowse did a really great job with this because body language, right? His body language showed vulnerability. So credits to David Prowse in this film. Like I don't want to kill my son, but I have to do it because my emperor. But again, this is where we go forward. Well, we'll talk about the space battle first. So, Justin, the space battle.
Oh boy.
Let's talk about this because that's your favorite scene.
It's
Your
a
favorite
trap.
space battle right now.
It's a trap! Exactly.
That's a trap!
Literally.
The best
man, I
meme
get-
of Star Wars.
Even hearing that in a Star Wars Space Mountain, I get so excited. Like right when you're about to turn, it's a trap.
Oh my gosh. I can't count how many times I've jumped out of my seat when I've heard it's a trap. Playing any Star Wars related video game, like Rebel Strike or Rogue Leader. Right when Admiral Akbar says that, you turn around, there's a freaking armada of Star Destroyers, and then battalions and garrisons of freaking TIE fighters, interceptors, bombers, just going at the Rebel Alliance. They're going after their flagships, and you just see every single ship that the Rebel Alliance has amassed, from B-Wings, A-Wings, X-Wings, and the Falcon at the helm. It's just like, oh my gosh.
It's so good.
It could go either way. Yeah, but
And who's piloting the Millennium Falcon?
it's Lando, and
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind, he destroyed the Death Star too. So he should be the general.
Hold on. We have as co-pilot the Celestin Nyan Num.
Oh
and
yeah, like
he- Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, there we go. Hey, no, that was pretty good. And we even see him in the sequel trilogy, so it shows that
Yes.
he ascends ranking in the Resistance because Leia obviously saw how dedicated he was to the effort. Because again, the Empire dominated a whole lot of.
Space,
Yeah,
Space.
for
he had
lack
a
of a
lot
better
of.
term.
Well, he had a lot of space, but also he faced a lot of uh like a lot of races throughout under
Mhm.
the Empire's control, a lot of ridicule, racial inequality, and yeah, a lot of his people probably died. So he's like, I'm not having this. Let's get at the Empire. And so it just further incentivized the effort of the rebellion to just
Mhm.
go in and the Empire with one last just further incentivize
Oops.
the
My
effort.
bad.
Do it all.
I love Lando's call sign, Gold Leader.
Gold
Gold leader.
leader.
Gold. Of course. Well, funny is
Gold.
that
Cause
you watch Solo. He loves trinkets,
yep,
so it
and
makes sense.
Billy D. Williams would not consider anything less than gold, probably.
Gold. I mean, he was a district attorney in our film. Batman. Anyway,
Oh yeah, that's right. But anyway,
yes. Now let's go back. Now let's go back to Endor, which is actually like the. I'll admit, I did like this battle, but this were. Can you explain how did small hair like cuddly little
Hmm.
bears was able to stop an a genocidal army?
plot,
Well,
See, as much as it was enjoyable to watch, I'm like now looking at it, it's like how did these cuddly little critters was
plot, as
able
well as probably
they
they were not prepared to see that.
because the thing is like
mm,
it looked
As far
like
as the Empire knew, that moon was uninhabited.
yeah, and that was
Because
their
remember,
mistake.
they're all in the trees. They're high up in the trees for who knows how tall. And so that
Yeah.
the
okay,
troopers not looking up was their biggest mistake.
okay, fair point, fair
So much
point.
for
Because like
surveying the land of, and being a galactic imperial navy, right?
fair
That
point.
I mean, they were all conscripted troopers. They're not clones. They're not
Well,
that
that's true,
smart.
but the fact that like as a soldier you enlist for something and you're trained for that something, whether you're by this point the clones are phased out already
Yeah.
for decades, but still
Yeah.
those who go into any armed force, you need to be trained and aware of your environment no matter what the environment is. So I think it's just
Exactly.
ill preparedness and kind of incompetence at this point on the imperial side of
Yeah.
leadership
Hmm.
for not actually doing a full surveillance of the planet.
Mm, you mean
Hubris.
the moon? You mean the moon?
I mean the moon.
The
Sorry.
Yeah.
moon. The
It's the
moon that has
hubris. The Empire thinks
Yeah.
you've got this in the can, but nope.
Yeah, sure. We got a planet destroyer, but our troops suck. What does that tell you about the place? You know,
Hmm.
fair point. Fair
and
point.
their rankings, their superior officers are always trying to outdo one another,
Yeah.
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
and plus the oh, what's the word I'm looking for? The hostile work environment between Vader and the officers. He's always choking them out on the. There's not a day that ends in Y that where Vader does not choke a guy out. Except this movie. Except this movie, he does not choke out an officer in this movie.
That's right.
The only force choke you see was Luke doing it, but
Oh wait, no, I'm sorry. There was a deleted scene of him choking someone.
mm,
Yeah. He's heading towards the turbo lift for to get to the Emperor's throne room, but there's an officer that says you may not enter, and then he starts to choke him, and then the officer
Oh.
says by command of the Emperor, then he lets him go. So
I have not seen that. Or
I'll
at
send
least
that to you.
I don't remember it. Please do.
I'll
Please
send
do.
it to
I'm
you,
so
yeah.
excited for that. Oh boy.
yes. Now the main reason why that they're there because like of course like in the first film, the Death Star has the shields,
Yep.
Yeah, the shield
deflector
generator.
shield. Shield
I
generator.
believe the shield generator will be fully functional.
This is again like
Indeed.
okay, so going back. So basically, that's what the rebels do. You see Han, Luke, Han, Leia, and Chewie. Which I granted, Chewie was great in this second half.
Yes.
Like you actually
He
saw
took
his full
initiative.
strength. You saw his full strength, his leadership, his military, like his fighting ability. Yeah, he legit owns the stormtroopers in this film. That's what I liked about Chewie. That's why he's my favorite Star Wars character. Not because he's fluffy. Get it? Yeah, he's hairy, but he's adorable in my heart. Like you can hug him. It's like a
Oh
adorable
yeah.
dog. Not these guys. But anyway,
Oh, sad
what?
face. Sad face. I like the Ewoks.
If people are
I
asking why I have them in the background, it's because I have to be biased for my Filipino culture because they do speak Tagalog. So
Let's
You
get to
have
some
to.
comments really quick.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, let's
Um,
start with, let's see here, because a lot of the questions and stuff was regarding, I think, the first half of the movie at Jabba's place. So Jay Gonzalez says favorite Star Wars film. Okay, cool.
episode 5, always.
Oh,
For
of
me,
the
it's
original trilogy.
the original
Or-
trilogy.
Original trilogy.
okay.
Okay, the original trilogy is episode 5. Prequel, it's gonna be episode 3. And
I think
then
that's everybody.
sequel
Yeah.
trilogy is gonna be Force Awakens.
Uh, Justin, how about you?
Okay. Of all time, as I've said before, Rogue One is my all-time favorite Star Wars film. In terms of the original trilogy, it is still to this day. Actually, you know what? Actually, I think I've said otherwise in prior videos, but I think Return of the Jedi still is my favorite in the original. I
Okay.
actually genuinely love it because talking about the space battle and I know we hadn't mentioned it, but Leia's total initiative. She's not
Oh
that
yeah.
helpless damsel in distress. She dressed up as a bounty hunter,
Bounty
threatened
Hunter.
to use a
Oh yeah.
thermal detonator in front of Jabba and his menagerie,
Hmm.
and she's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna blow this whole place up if you don't give me Han." And then Jabba's like, "Ho ho ho ho, Kamikabakuba." He's like, "I'm calling your bluff, bounty hunter, but you will be paid handsomely for this walking carpet." So, I mean, everything about this film, it wraps everything up with a nice bow.
Mm.
Right down. Albeit, yes, some details are very lazy to some eyes, but again, all that George wanted to do with every single Star Wars film, because of how long it took to make each one,
Right.
he wanted to do something different. And I know we didn't get a chance to talk about it in detail. The speeder bike sequence
Oh
Yeah,
was
shoot!
freaking
let's talk about that.
awesome.
I
Let's talk about
forgot
that.
about that.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. See, this is why I
Yes.
have you.
Let's get to that
Uh,
before I
Let's
do
get
my
let's get
list.
let's get to that. So
okay,
Spear Bike.
okay. That's fine.
Honestly, I love that part because the thing is, it felt like, oh, Canada, we have a chase sequence in Star Wars, and we actually, and a lot was practical effects too. It was like, damn. So
Mm-hmm.
Marv, you want to talk about it?
Oh
Yeah, go
yeah,
for
so
it,
the
Marv.
speeder chase scene, that was like, as I think in some things that George Lucas said, he wanted things in the sequels of each movie to be more fast and intense. This was
Mhm.
the fastest and most intense thing in that original trilogy.
Yes.
I mean, they're on a speeder bike going through a heavily dense forest on these speeder bikes, which I'm sorry, but in the Battlefront games by EA, they control horribly. Heck, the PS2 and Xbox ones controlled better than this.
That is true.
That's true.
That is
And
true.
those games were from 2002 and 2005. So how did EA mess this up? Oh wait, they want more money. But anyways, the speeder chase, like I thought that was really cool. I really wish that Luke did not just bust out the lightsaber at the end of that. He should have had it while
He's
jumping from
like,
each bike. But
Or just
then
be
I
like, it's like,
but I think because of the background was like the greenery of the forest and his saber was green, it would have gotten messy.
that is
CG
true.
wise. So
I mean, I remember hearing in Empire of Dreams, the documentary,
Mhm.
uh, originally Luke's saber was going to be blue,
Blue.
but
Yeah,
but
but it
against
with this.
both Endor and Tatooine, yeah, they
Mhm.
just decided, oh, let's make it green. It's gonna
Yeah, you
make
look at
it.
the poster for original one. Look blue.
Yeah,
It's blue.
but
Yeah,
also
you're
the
right.
fact that I do believe, I don't remember if it's true or not, but because
Hmm.
when we see Luke get the lightsaber out in this movie, it's during the Sarlacc scene.
Yeah,
So, and it's like, I think I heard things of like the blue wouldn't look great like
yeah,
with the blue sky background.
yeah, and the contrast of the sand, because
Yeah,
it would just totally blend in. It doesn't look right.
yeah,
But yeah,
but the green works. Yeah.
Definitely. But
Marvin, we
yeah,
should
like
hit your list. We should hit your
Oh yeah,
ranking.
sorry. So in
What do we
terms of
have
my
here?
list per trilogy, um, I flip flop between episode 4 and 5, but I
That's
think New
okay.
Hope is my number one favorite out of the original trilogy.
Hmm.
The prequels, as I think Ryan and everyone else in the world said, it's Revenge of the Sith.
Okay.
And yeah, I do think that the strongest installment of the sequel trilogy is Force Awakens.
Yes. Agreed.
And in terms of the anthology films, the two of them, it's definitely Rogue One.
Solo.
No,
He runs solo. Oh.
Rogue
We have
One is a
to-
better movie than
Okay, that's
Solo.
facts. That's facts. Now let's discuss. Where were we before we go to Super Bay? Oh yeah.
Uh,
So now this is where we see Han and well, he kind of reveal "I love you" in Empire Strikes Back, but this is the
Yeah.
part where we see the couple now finally be like, "Hey, like
yeah.
I love you," and then like she gets shot. And you see Han like, "I'll protect you." So that's what I like about that scene. And see R2. R2 is also technically the hero again when he gets blasted.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So basically,
Unfortunately.
short story: the Empire, the Rebels, they destroyed. They don't destroy they destroyed a shield generator, and now we go to
Right.
the best part of the movie, which I wanted to talk about all the way: the final
Yes.
battle between
Yes,
Darth
the
Vader and
dark
Luke.
side
And
consuming everything in that throne room.
this is why
Oh yeah.
this is the part I
Wait,
love about like I said earlier,
Uh-oh.
like
He's getting
nope.
something. He's getting something.
Oh,
since we're
God.
talking about since we're talking about the dark side itself,
Oh God,
all this dark knowledge.
Oh, a Sith holocron.
Yes.
the holocron.
Impressive.
They're not wayfinders or holocrons. Get it right.
But anyway,
So sour. So
So-
sour.
the final battle between these two. Now, before I continue, you ask your opinions.
Uh-oh.
When you first saw this final battle, what were your thoughts? And was there any tense moments when you watched this?
Oh yeah. I was like,
Yeah.
I feel that both when I was a kid and even rewatching it now, like the saber hits, it's all there. Both Vader and Luke are going at it 100%. Like in Empire Strikes Back, as we said last week, the first half of that fight, Vader's going at like, oh, I'll go at 80% against this kid, but who doesn't know anything technically.
Mhm.
And then now with Luke having a bit more training,
Yeah.
and Vader, it's Vader, in front of his
Yeah.
master, more or less. He's like, oh, I better not disappoint. So he'll go at it 100%. And they
Yes.
both do until Luke hides. And then Vader says, he basically threatens Leia. And Luke says, oh, hell no. Gets a
Mhm.
anger boost from the dark side. And goes from 100% to 150% or so, and knocking his old man down to the floor,
And
and
chopping
then chops
his hand off.
And then he
Exactly.
sees the machine, the machine part sticking out of that singed arm.
Yeah. The wires and all.
And then he looks
all
down
this-
in his own hand.
That
Poetry.
Poetry
Yep.
motion. Justin?
and nonverbal acting.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, no dialogue had to convey any of that.
Exactly.
like emotion.
Yeah.
Plus, that was legit. That felt like a final battle because, like, if Luke lost, like this, basically the real again scenarios. if Luke kills his dad, he loses dad. But thing
Mhm.
is,
He's
like
now the Emperor's apprentice.
apprentice because he killed him with but he surrenders, like the Emperor just killed him, right? And basically the rebels are fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is why, like, damn. So this is a lot of stakes. So I'm glad that Luke did not kill his dad. He just cut his arm off, right? To like put him like disarmed him.
Mhm.
And this is where we saw the Emperor straight
Oh
up.
yeah.
Like I'm a like hell. You want to disobey me? I'll kill you. And he didn't even use a lightsaber. He's just forced lightning.
hmm
He
Yeah.
did not use a lightsaber.
will be destroyed.
Exactly. I mean,
That like that
he's
a
the
lot
only
of
one.
a lot of the dialogue from all three of them in that throne room is so quotable.
Yes.
Strike
Like,
me down.
oh, I believe. No wait, it's like now you will experience the full power of this fully operational battle station.
Yeah.
So this is why I
Fire
like.
at will, Commander. And
Yeah.
yeah.
This is where again, like going back. This is what I liked about Emperor because it's also his downfall. He was so cocky. He's like, yeah,
Mhm.
like I have Vader. I have this station. Your friends are gonna die. Everything's on my motion. I'm like, yeah.
Your
Don't be cocky.
overconfidence is your weakness. Your faith in your friends,
friends
is yours.
That's true. That's true. That actually is facts.
Mhm.
But anyway, yeah, we see Anakin come back to life, and kills Palpatine.
he brings the force back into balance.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is why again.
Somehow.
This is why Luke.
Because now there's this
Somehow.
light.
Yeah, that's why now Luke. See now, legit Luke. Luke was the New Hope because
Mhm.
it's poetic. Darth Vader is Anakin's still the chosen one. It's just Luke was an anchor.
hmm
Yeah.
See?
It was the thing that literally helped bring Anakin back.
And speaking of Vader killing Palpatine, what are you guys' thoughts on the inclusion of him saying no before grabbing Palpatine and throwing him
Oh,
off
the
down the shaft?
Blu-ray.
No.
Blu-ray edition.
No.
No.
Honestly, I would not put it in because the thing is, in the original one,
It was
He
it
didn't
was
say
just him
anything.
looking at Luke and then at Palpatine, then back again.
yeah. See, this is why body language, like David Prowse, is a
Mhm.
great body language actor. See, because he
Have
didn't
you guys
know.
ever seen that?
Less is more.
I saw this edit long time ago. It's like when Palpatine's zapping Luke, but it's just Vader looking at Luke and then Palpatine for forever.
Oh. No.
Oh man, I don't know if I can find it on YouTube anymore, but it's like
Mhm.
the scene just kept going for about a minute of him looking back and forth.
And also, you look at his face too, like his body language, like him looking at Luke like this, like
Yeah,
so weak. I'm like,
but then
yeah.
again, like he just got his ass kicked, so
No, but like thing is, like he's like so like just looking at his son, like So I'll say this: it's poetry. Like remember how like Rey stabbed Kylo Ren and
Yeah.
brought back Ben? It's the same way with here.
Mhm.
Like he caught off Vader's hand, and Anakin comes back to life. It's poetic.
Yeah, and then when Rey struck Kylo Ren left Ben Solo, and with
Yeah.
Leia's help, it allowed Ben to fully come back to the light.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right.
Yep.
I know
See?
people are gonna be like, they mentioned Ray. I'm like, dude,
Chill.
nothing's gonna change. The movies are made.
Here's the
These are made.
thing, guys. One thing we have to remember: there's no more toxic fans than Star Wars fans. I'm
Yes.
sorry. That's coming from a
Yeah.
Star Wars fan,
Same.
and we're salty as heck. I don't like it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same here.
Like,
We're going
I
to
think
Star
the-
Wars celebrations, guys. It's like, come on.
come on, it's Star Wars week. Don't do this.
Star Wars
But,
months don't
yeah,
do
month.
this.
Well, yeah, month. But
Yeah.
By the way, guys, you guys don't know, you guys are watching the Thor Love and Thunder trailer just came out. So I think
it
tickets
did.
are gonna be in sale now, so get them ASAP.
Yeah, if
Not
you guys
me.
are watching our show, yeah, I'm gonna wait.
Yeah, I'm gonna
but
wait.
you guys can go to El Capitan, go check out Natalie Portman's Mighty Thor.
Oh,
We have to talk about these Padme. Padme's bumped.
Padme
Bumped.
got jacked.
Imagine like, there's a meme like Anakin's like, "Whoa, Padme's like, I'm bumped now, Annie. Come on, little Annie." It's like Chad May.
Chad May, yeah.
Chad May's
Annie,
buff.
my goodness, you've grown more like Padme. My goodness, you've grown.
Chad May.
But
But let's
Yeah.
go. Stay on
back
target.
to Star Wars.
Back to
Yeah.
Star
Um,
Wars.
uh,
But
sorry, on to what Justin's saying about the fan bases. I think the fan base that's right below the Star Wars toxicity levels is Spider-Man.
no, I
Yeah.
don't say
It
no.
can
It
be.
can be, but I once consider it. Honestly, below it, I have to say anime.
Eh, it
I
depends on
say
what anime.
no, but in general, it's a lot.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, but thing is, there's a lot of.
That's
I'll say this.
true.
I'll say this. I'll say this. A lot of fandoms, a lot of
Mhm.
properties have all toxic fans.
Yeah,
That's
that's true.
that's happened.
Yes.
Like even
But
Harry Potter.
honestly,
Harry
I
Potter is
think
considered
the
clean
most
cut. No.
toxic fan bases are Star Wars at the top, Spider-Man in second, and DC at the third, especially with how things have been going on recently. Not
Yeah.
between the actors themselves, but the property alone.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the fans are like, if you like this, if you, it's either you like the Snyderverse or nothing, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it's like,
All
what?
right. All right. Let's wrap this. Let's wrap this
Yeah.
podcast. So yeah, then sadly Vader dies.
hmm
Yeah.
Well, Anakin dies, but he gets to see his son one last time. That's why
Mhm.
it's kind of tragic for Leia. I was hoping this is why again with this film there's like questionable decisions that could be easily fixed. I wish that Leia was there during the funeral because the thing is, yeah, you're the daughter, but thing is, I didn't feel it. You just said it. I didn't
Okay.
feel it. Like I wish there was more. This is why I wish that before Vader died, he was able to see Leia one last time and apologize. I mean, there's the comics for that, but no, I was hoping like in the funeral scene, like when he cremated him, Leia was
Oh,
by
okay.
Luke's side. See, that's
Mhm.
why I have problems. Like, so you have no respect for your dad. I get it. He's like, that's Vader that destroyed Alderaan, not your dad.
But then the
So-
thing is, though, and I think they kind of go over this in one of the uh, novels that are bridging the gap between 6 and 7.
Bloodlines.
Yes,
Oh,
that
yeah,
one.
yeah.
It's like
Yep.
when everyone figures out that Vader was her dad.
It really just creates a whole lot of discord in the
Political
Republic in
drama.
the New Republic Senate. Exactly.
Yeah. Like they're starting this new government up. It's like, wait, you're the daughter of the guy that we all hated. What gives you the
Mhm.
credibility?
Yeah. Why should we trust you? For
Yeah, exactly. So
this man tried to kill us all.
yeah, so I think that as much as what Ryan's saying about them having more time together, I think it's actually it would be a flaw if they had a scene together, and especially when on the Death Star, Vader threatened Luke that he will try to turn her to the dark side if he doesn't. So
Well, that's Vader.
Mm.
Anakin's different.
yeah, but the thing is, they're both
But-
dead.
Yeah, and also Anakin hadn't
He didn't even
been.
know.
Yeah, he didn't even know until literally that moment.
Yeah,
Your
So-
sister. You are right.
Now your feelings have betrayed her too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we have the final scene with the da da da. Okay, I do like that song. Come
Oh,
on,
not
I know, yeah,
original. Not originally. Not.
I know, the
originally.
yep.
Yep.
Yeah. No, but
That's
yeah,
my
no.
ending.
Well, thing is-
Da.
Okay, I'm at this. I like this new ending because it showed the whole galaxy celebrating.
That's true, but
Yeah, like you had
You could
Naboo, and
still
you see-
play that track.
and you see what's his face? You see was it Jar Jar?
The
I forgot what it was like.
Gungans.
Misa
Gungans.
Peace! Misa Peace! And then you see
I can tell
Coruscant. And you
Marvin
see...
does not love Gungans.
No, I do not.
But the thing is, I like that part because like thing is, the original was good, but like the edited version, you see the whole galaxy celebrating.
Yeah, I like that until the Wisa free.
Misa Peace!
It killed it for me. I was like, oh great.
Misa
He's still alive. Great.
But again, well, technically, I think
No
he's a
offense to Ahmed Best. I bet he's a really nice
Oh
guy. It's
no,
the
I
character.
you guys actually need to watch if you have not watched. It's called Jedi Training Trials. It's a show on YouTube on Star Wars Kids.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Ahmed Best, yeah, Ahmed Best literally is like this Jedi master.
Oh, that's so good.
And and these kids they go on an obstacle course like the Jedi Trials. It's so cool. It's
That's
a
so
guilty
cool.
pleasure that I love seeing. Just like if I was a kid, I would so do this. I would
Same.
so because it combines teamwork and
Mhm,
literally a lot of Star Wars inspired obstacles. But yeah,
mhm.
one thing we didn't touch on. I mean, we kind of did, but the reveal of Sebastian Shaw under the mask.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And they
And
Honestly,
without
removed his eyebrows. They
the
removed his
makeup.
eyebrows
Oh yeah.
in the Blu-ray.
Mhm.
I
Which
did not like
literally
that.
made no sense.
I mean, kinda, because like if someone literally
Oh yeah,
burns,
that's right. All the follicles and stuff. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to grow hair back.
I'll admit though, Sebastian Shaw has some really good eyebrows,
Yeah.
but it does make sense for him to not have
Okay, now it
eyebrows.
makes
That's
sense to me that yeah, okay.
well, so what I like about what I like about that scene
yeah.
when he takes out the mask, like it's like Vader already knew, like Anakin already accepted his fate. He wants to die.
And
Mhm.
plus, like he can't go back because they'll kill him anyway.
Yeah, he
And the
wants.
suit is killing him. Also, he has the labored breathing
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, like
It
he
can't
wants to
sustain
die.
him.
Like thing is, I'm glad that the Force brought him back. Well, but before he became Force Ghost.
Mhm.
Right.
But the fact that like he like it's also tragic too, because like he knew it was wrong, so he just like yeah, like I just want to see my son land one last time, and
Mhm.
then
With his own eyes.
his own eyes, and then talk about his sister, even though he can't see her, right? Tell Luke you're right. So yeah, it's tragic. I hope if they do another Star Wars like TV show, they with
Mhm.
Hayden come. I mean, they do have Hayden coming back.
Yeah.
They actually have a force like maybe you see his Force Ghost interacting with Luke.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe. Maybe.
maybe like I kind of want to see that like Darth Vader or like Ahsoka. I mean, I'm hoping for Ahsoka. This is my wish that they legit have Hayden's Anakin talk to Ahsoka.
That would be cool, but I don't know.
Like what happened? Like why'd you do this? Like like yeah, come on.
I mean, yeah, sure, but I think at that
That
point,
would be too much of a fan service type of thing, in my honest opinion.
Hey, No Way Home was too much of fan service. Look what
But then
happened.
but as long
no,
as
it
it
was a
serves the plot of the story going forward, or in the Ahsoka series
Okay.
case, if it helps with the plot of the episode, it
Okay.
should be there. If it's not, then fans may react badly to it.
That is true.
There
You're
is a
right.
thing called bad fan service.
And there is a thing called spoon feeding. It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be done.
Hey,
Mm-mm.
Cad Bane though for Boba Fett. Come on.
Okay, that's not fan service. It actually brings Boba's
Yeah.
arc full circle.
I
Still,
mean-
Cad Bane.
I was
Oh
never
my
a fan
God!
of Cad anyway.
Oh.
Oh my God.
I was happy that he was. Well, I hope he's dead, because it's like it took Boba Fett to take down this guy who Anakin and Obi-Wan and the Jedi Order couldn't. A mere man.
Well, keep in mind, like he aged already.
Amir Doros. Amir Doros.
Well, like a
Yeah,
mere
yeah.
non-force sensitive taken
Right.
out. That the Jedi couldn't deal with this guy, basically.
Yeah.
Like, are you
this
kidding
bounty
me?
hunter. No, you're absolutely right.
Yes.
But yeah.
I
So
mean,
yeah, guys, that's Return
yeah.
of the Jedi.
And the original trilogy.
Yeah.
And we're done. We
Yay!
completed it. We did it, guys. We did it. We did it. Sorry, we did it. Just kidding. I'm not gonna sing it. But yeah, again, Marv and Justin, thank you so much for doing this trilogy.
You're
me.
welcome, and I'll see you guys on Friday.
I'll be there Friday. Don't worry. I don't have my
Friday.
lights.
I will be there all weekend for Star Wars
Yeah, let's
Celebration.
go, Justin.
I have revealed my cosplay
Okay.
plans on who I will be cosplaying. And yeah, you guys can see it on our socials for everything and anything regarding Star Wars Celebrations 2022 in Anaheim.
Whoop,
Nice.
whoop.
Before we leave, what do you project the next one's gonna be?
Next
The
what?
next.
Celebration, because it always moves.
Oh,
Oh, don't
I
they
think
do it
it's
a cycle? It's Anaheim, Florida,
then
Europe, and then Sydney.
yeah,
Is it? Is it a cycle?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
a cycle. They always go to the same locations.
Beep 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 beep
So the
beep
next
beep
one is
beep
gonna be.
beep beep
Because
beep. Beep.
2015 and it was in Anaheim,
Yeah,
The next one's gonna be what's the next one? Australia,
Florida.
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 I think Florida.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
then because the last one was in Chicago, and yeah,
Oh, Chicago. Sorry, I did miss that one.
No,
so
see,
there's
that's not a
five.
cycle then, because Chicago
Hold
was.
on, hold on, hold on, hold on.
Because I
Yes.
know for a fact they do Anaheim, Florida, Chicago, and then Europe.
Oh,
I
that's
didn't know
right.
about Australia.
Okay, correct. So, oh, okay. They've changed over the years, but it generally has followed Anaheim. Oh, yeah, Anaheim, Europe, Orlando, Chicago.
I mean, they
Oh, I
also did
guess
one in
not
LA
Sydney.
too. They also
They
did one in
actually
LA too, like LA
they
Convention Center.
actually did one in Japan also.
Oh wow.
What?
So we're going to Japan.
I mean, they only had one celebration in Japan. It's the very first event in Asia that was ever done for Star Wars celebrations.
Okay.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay. Well, generally it's Anaheim, Europe, Orlando, Chicago that has been done repeatedly.
Yeah.
I bet you
So
next one's Anaheim.
three
I bet.
locations in the US and then Europe.
Yes.
Mhm.
I thought there was one in Sydney. Never mind. Okay.
I bet you're doing. Yeah, I mean, you have to do Orlando because there's also Star Wars Land there too. So Galaxy's Edge. So
Galaxy's
Because I
Edge.
remember after 2015 they went to Florida and then the
Yes.
following it was Europe and then
Mhm.
Chicago.
That's what it was. Good memory, Marvin.
You're welcome.
Hey, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, even though I'm going one day, I have to savor it because yeah, you guys are lucky. You're going there a weekend. You guys are lucky.
Well, I mean, I did it as quick as possible when the tickets got available back in 2019 after Chicago
Yeah.
happened. Like I
Mhm.
think from what I recall, Chicago happened in I think March or April, and then I think a month or two after the event, the tickets went on sale.
Yeah. And then COVID struck.
I know that was depressing, but hey, it's
That was
finally here. It's finally here.
So here, and I activate my badge. So cool.
There we go.
Same.
Yeah. Make sure. Oh, also, it is required that you guys do a COVID vaccine check. You need to
Yep.
have your information.
So, do we need to have the card, or do we actually need to get the test done prior to coming?
If you have been vaccinated, you can have it on your smartphone through the scanning the QR code.
or your
Okay.
card.
That's valid. Or you can have the physical card. Correct.
Add
Yeah,
the
I
card.
always bring my card where
Mhm.
places are requiring it. So
I need to bring it for whenever I go on sets, anyways.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
And heck, I need to bring it for school anyway. So
There we go. Exactly.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
smart.
All right, guys. So before we go, where can I find you, Marvin?
on Envious Cosplay on pretty much yeah, that's how you spell it on pretty much every platform except for TikTok. There is a underscore right between Envious and Cosplay. I first I thought that it's like someone made an Envious Cosplay on TikTok before I did. That's my thing for like 10 years. But then I realized I made an account, but I forgot about it and I don't remember what email I used
Oh.
for it. So I, I had to put the underscore in between them. And in between those words.
It was your variant.
Your
My
variant.
multiversal variant.
Your dream, you were dream walking or something and you just totally forgot about it.
Oh.
Yes. And where can I find you, Justin Boy? Red Pinoy.
Everyone can find me at jcabantingva on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and yeah, those hubs you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And you can also, I've never told anyone this, but if you can find it, you can find me on YouTube.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can find me
Cool, cool.
Instagram, DanceTheBoy247, and please follow us, the Buttery Show, for future podcasts. No podcast this week, but we will be discussing episode of Obi-Wan next Monday.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna be intense. You can see
Korra. Zero.
Yeah, we're gonna see some Inquisitor action. We're gonna see Obi-Wan, what he's been up to all these years. How
Having
the
Clone
heck do
Wars
you?
flash, having
Yeah,
terrible Clone Wars PTSD flashbacks.
PTSD. Yeah. Oh gosh,
You're gonna
it's
have to
gonna be
deal with
so
that
scary.
aftermath.
It's gonna be a wild ride, guys. 2
Every,
episode premiere.
every time Obi-Wan sees something that triggers him, what's that song that always plays in the Vietnam War based movies?
Oh, Credence Clearwater Revival. It's
Yeah.
dun-dun. I
So the
forget what.
okay,
Yes.
so we had to review 2 episodes then. We'll do 2 episodes then. We can
Yeah.
do that.
In the 2 episode
Two
premiere.
episodes back to back. Besides, I can watch it because I can watch it. Because I'm only doing there for one day. So
It's Star Wars. You can do it.
I can do it. I
can
can
do
do
it.
it.
I'm
Stay
going
on
all
target.
4 days. You gotta do it.
3 days.
Yeah.
But
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
This is the Buttery Show.
3
Thank you,
days.
Justin. Thank you, Marv. So, guys, see you guys next podcast, which is next Monday.
And Friday. I'll see you Friday. Bye bye.
See you guys Friday again. If you guys start a celebration, say hi. Bye, guys.
See ya. Bye.